Welcome to our channel, where ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories. They may be small, simple, and silver in color, but a few 5-cent coins are hiding jaw-dropping secrets that could change your life. Some are so rare, so unique, that their value has skyrocketed far beyond their humble face. In today's video, we'll uncover some of the most surprising and valuable nickels ever produced. Few coins carry with them a story so powerful that it transforms a simple 5-cent piece into a prized collector's treasure. The 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel is one such coin, a small piece of metal that captures the spirit of American exploration and hides a secret far beyond its face value. At first glance, it might look like any other nickel. But look closely, and you'll discover a coin that's part history lesson, part artwork, and part rare collectible, and these three elements combined have made it one of the most sought-after nickels in recent history. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to rewind 200 years to one of the most iconic journeys in American history. In 1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark set out on an expedition that would map the western territories of the newly formed United States. Their journey was filled with unknown dangers, remarkable discoveries, and a vision of a nation expanding into vast new lands. It was a mission fueled by curiosity, courage, and a pioneering spirit. The 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel commemorates the bicentennial of this historic expedition. The United States Mint decided to honor the 2 centuries since Lewis and Clark's voyage with a series of coins, and the nickel was the perfect choice for telling this story in metal. On the coin's obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile is depicted, linking the coin to the president who commissioned the expedition. But the real focus is on the reverse side. There, an exquisitely detailed keelboat, the very vessel that Lewis and Clark used to navigate the Missouri River, is engraved. Every ripple in the water, every plank of wood, is rendered with care, evoking the courage and perseverance of those early explorers. Most 2004 nickels were struck in massive quantities at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meaning they're common and usually worth only a few cents above face value. But then there's the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel minted at West Point. This is where the story takes a thrilling turn. The West Point Mint, often called the Fort Knox of coins, is famous for producing limited quantities of special coins, proofs and collector's items that aren't meant for everyday circulation. The 2004 West Point Lewis and Clark nickel is one of those rarities. Only a small number were struck at West Point, making these coins scarce from the very beginning. A small W mint mark on the reverse side signals the coin's origin at West Point. This tiny letter is a beacon for collectors, proof that this coin isn't like the rest. It's a rare piece, struck with the highest standards, often as a proof or in uncirculated condition, designed to be preserved and cherished. Condition matters greatly in the world of coin collecting. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with no signs of wear, scratches, or imperfections, especially those graded mint state 70, the highest grade possible, become prized gems. The 2004 West Point Lewis and Clark nickel in perfect condition is one of these gems. The rarity and quality of this coin have made it a magnet for collectors worldwide. It's not just the story it tells, it's the scarcity of the coin itself, combined with the artistry of its design and the prestige of the West Point Mint that make it so desirable. Over time, the demand for this coin has grown steadily. It has become a highlight for anyone who collects commemorative nickels, American history coins, or rare modern mint issues. The West Point Lewis and Clark nickel holds a special place in numismatic circles because it represents a perfect storm of history, rarity, and beauty. To find one in circulation is almost unheard of. Most West Point coins are sold directly to collectors in special sets or through limited releases. This means that if you ever spot a 2004 nickel with a W mint mark, it's worth pausing and examining carefully. Its value could be much higher than the mere 5 cents stamped on its face. For those who own one of these coins, it's important to keep it safe, and if possible, have it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. The grading not only confirms authenticity but can also dramatically increase a coin's market value by certifying its condition. So, after all this, you might be wondering, just how valuable is this coin? The answer might surprise you. The 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel from West Point, especially those graded at the highest levels, can be worth as much as $32,000. That's right, a coin that was once just 5 cents has skyrocketed to tens of thousands of dollars in value. This incredible jump is a testament to the coin's rarity, its historic significance, and the passion of collectors who recognize the true worth of this extraordinary piece. In the world of coin collecting, this nickel is not just change, it's a treasure. It connects us to the bold spirit of exploration that defined America's past, while reminding us that even the smallest things can hold the greatest stories. So, next time you see a 2004 nickel, take a moment to look for that elusive W. It might just be the key to unlocking a piece of history worth thousands. Sometimes the most surprising treasures are the ones hiding in plain sight, in your pocket, in your drawer, or nestled unnoticed in a decades-old coin jar. One such treasure is the 1994 Jefferson Nickel with the Philadelphia Mint mark. At first glance, it's just another 5-cent piece. But a deeper look reveals a coin with an uncommon past, striking beauty, and value far beyond what anyone would expect from something so familiar. The story of this nickel begins with its design, a tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and his famous Virginia home, Monticello. The obverse shows Jefferson's left-facing profile, a sharp, well-defined image that captures the seriousness and dignity of one of America's founding fathers. The reverse features Monticello, a neoclassical masterpiece etched into the nickel's surface with columns, stairs, and domes that have become iconic in American coinage. But something changed in 1994. A unique version of this coin was produced, and most people never even noticed. While hundreds of millions of standard nickels were struck for general circulation, a very limited number were created with a different technique, a matte or satin-like finish, giving the coin a soft, frosted texture and a completely different appearance from the shiny coins we're used to. This wasn't just another production quirk. This finish signaled something more exclusive, more deliberate, and much rarer. This special strike from the Philadelphia Mint was never intended for circulation. It was released only in a very limited number of coin sets, aimed at serious collectors. Unlike regular nickels, which are produced by the millions and quickly see wear and tear from everyday handling, these special versions were struck with greater care and preserved in protective packaging, untouched by human hands or time. What makes this 1994 nickel truly special isn't just its rarity, but the level of detail captured in the strike. On many of these coins, collectors look for something called full steps, an indication of sharp, flawless detail in the steps beneath Monticello. Only the most precise and perfectly struck nickels earn this designation. On the 1994 Philadelphia matte finish nickel, full steps are not just a bonus, they're a game changer. A coin with this level of sharpness, preserved without any contact marks, becomes a showcase piece, a centerpiece in a serious collection. The number of these special matte nickels available is incredibly small. Most people who owned the original sets either kept them sealed or eventually broke them apart, unaware of the treasure they were holding. Over the years, many of these coins have vanished, tucked away, forgotten, or mishandled, reducing the number of surviving high-quality examples even further. Today, coin collectors know exactly what they're looking for. When someone brings out a 1994 nickel with a Philadelphia Mint mark and that unmistakable soft, frosted finish, the eyes of any numismatist light up. It's the kind of coin that doesn't come around often. In fact, some collectors spend years looking for one in top condition, waiting for the perfect combination of finish, detail, and preservation. And while the regular 1994 Philadelphia nickel is easy to find, with over 700 million struck, this special matte version exists in a completely different category. It belongs to the world of modern rarities, coins that are relatively recent in age but already commanding attention and respect due to their scarcity and the difficulty in finding them at top quality. Every detail counts with this coin. The luster, the sharpness of Jefferson's jawline, the definition of the letters, the depth of the steps on Monticello, these are the elements that determine whether you're holding a nice collectible or something truly elite. Only a tiny fraction of these coins have been preserved in such perfect condition that they achieve the highest possible grades. And when they do, they become more than just collector's items. They become investment-grade rarities. In the world of coin collecting, condition and rarity walk hand in hand. And when those two factors meet historical significance and unique production, something remarkable happens. You get a coin that transcends its time, its purpose, and its denomination. This 1994 Philadelphia nickel, this small, unassuming 5-cent piece, has quietly climbed the ranks of modern numismatic treasures. And for those lucky enough to find one in pristine, untouched condition with its original matte finish and full step details intact, the reward is extraordinary. This isn't just pocket change anymore. Because the true value of a flawless 1994 Jefferson nickel, struck in that rare matte finish and preserved in perfect condition, is now estimated at an astounding $53,000. That's right. $53,000. For a nickel. It's a stunning transformation, from a coin meant to commemorate a legacy, to a coin that now carries a legacy of its own. And it proves one unforgettable truth: never underestimate the value of what's right in front of you. Moving to the next valuable nickel, we find ourselves rewinding time to 1983, a year full of shifting culture, new technology, and subtle surprises. The music charts were ruled by synth-pop, cassette tapes lined car dashboards, and the world was on the cusp of a digital revolution. But in the realm of coins, something quietly remarkable was happening. Not in headlines, not in newspaper articles, but at the Philadelphia Mint, in the form of a simple 5-cent piece. At first glance, the 1983 Jefferson nickel looks like just another coin. You've seen it 100 times. It has that familiar gray tone, the soft, rounded rim, and the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson facing left. The word "Liberty" curls beside his silhouette, with the year etched just beneath. It's not flashy. It doesn't shine like a silver dollar. It doesn't boast the weight of a $50 or the legacy of a Morgan. But for those who pay attention, this nickel holds a story worth hearing. Now flip it over. There it is, Monticello. That stately home, with its low dome and clean columns, resting calmly in the background of American coinage. It's a design we've seen since 1938, and yet, in 1983, a handful of these nickels were struck with a difference. Not a new design. Not a printing error. Something more subtle, and in many ways, far more valuable. This was the year the Philadelphia Mint created a small run of nickels under unusual conditions. A rare, experimental strike method. These weren't your average business strikes, nor were they traditional proofs reserved for collectors. They lived in a unique space, crafted with extra care, struck on specially prepared dies, resulting in sharper detail, deeper relief, and a finish that was unlike anything else in circulation at the time. Imagine this: a coin that doesn't shine brightly, but absorbs light with a soft matte glow. Its features feel sculpted rather than stamped. Jefferson's hair, once flat and worn on circulated coins, now shows texture and depth. His jawline is stronger, the curve of his coat more defined. The letters are bolder. The rim is cleaner. Monticello looks less like an outline, and more like a tiny, engraved building you could reach out and touch. But here's what truly sets these coins apart: their survival. Most people never knew this version existed. These nickels didn't come with a certificate or a fancy label. They didn't have a fanfare launch. They were slipped into a limited number of government-issued sets, sold quietly to collectors. Many were opened, handled, spent, or forgotten. Only a handful remained untouched. Fewer still retained the flawless surfaces needed to survive the test of time and grading scrutiny. And then there's the full steps designation, a mark of distinction in the Jefferson nickel world. On the reverse, the steps of Monticello are often flattened in circulation. But on a perfect strike, you'll see them all, 5 or 6 steps, clean and unbroken. This tiny detail, no more than a few millimeters across, separates an ordinary coin from a prized specimen. It tells collectors, this coin was struck right, preserved carefully, and never allowed to fade. Now imagine combining that full steps sharpness with the rare 1983 special finish. Imagine owning a coin that not only survived decades without a scratch, but was born with features most nickels never had to begin with. It's a once-in-a-generation pairing, flawless strike and exceptional preservation. Collectors across the country, and even around the world, continue to search for these elusive coins. Many have never seen one in person. Some don't believe they exist at all. But the truth is, they do. And when one appears, the numismatic world takes notice. This is the type of coin that doesn't just add to a collection, it defines it. It doesn't just tell history, it holds history. It represents a moment when the mint did something different, something special, and didn't even call attention to it. A quiet masterpiece, hidden in plain sight. Today, the few surviving examples that have been graded and certified in pristine condition, especially those with full steps, are considered among the most valuable modern nickels in existence. They bridge the gap between common pocket change and museum-worthy rarity. And here's what's truly astonishing. This nickel, struck in 1983, carrying a face value of just 5 cents, and likely overlooked by millions, when preserved in flawless condition, with its rare finish and full Monticello steps, is now worth as much as $70,000. $70,000. For a single nickel. It's almost hard to believe. But that's the reality of numismatics. Value isn't just in age or metal. It's in rarity, condition, mystery, and story. And this coin has all four. So next time you're thumbing through a box of old coins, or opening a forgotten set passed down from a relative, don't rush. Don't assume. Because one small, plain, gray nickel from 1983 could quietly be holding on to a value that could change everything. What started as spare change could become a small fortune. And sometimes, the rarest treasures don't sparkle. They simply wait. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more rare coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future treasure. Got a rare coin or story to share? Drop a comment below, we'd love to hear what's hiding in your collection. And don't forget to share this video with fellow collectors who might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it.